Hello and welcome in the 10th episode of the Athlete Journal. This episode will be in English as requested by many people, and also it's nice to have a little bit of a change in the people listening and in the people understanding, and I guess it widens my my reach in a sense. Today I wanted to speak about selection, mainly about, I play rugby, I play team sport, and I feel like selection is very short term. So what I mean by short term is if you have a game every week, your goal of the week is to get selected for the weekend. But when you don't get selected for the weekend, you get really frustrated, and so you get into the following week with that frustration, trying to get selected again for the following weekend. And when you get in that negative cycle, I do believe it's very detrimental to your progress as a person and your progress as a rugby player or football player or whatever it is you're doing. And so I think it's important to be able to take a step back and see the bigger picture in terms of you're a rugby player or again football player or whatever, but you're a person and your journey, your life journey is a lot bigger than that one game at the weekend or that one season, if it lasts a season or two or three, whatever. And so I think it's important to, whatever you do, still aim to develop. So if you're not selected for the weekend, have you though developed in the week? Whether that's, have you learned new things? Have you developed your skills you wanted to work on? Have you made new friendships? Have you maintained your friendships? Have you looked after your friends? Have you looked after your family? All those things that can make you or can enhance, can make you not a better human, but just sort of, growing as a person. And the first few seasons when I used to play at Quins, I was very motivated to develop. Like I wanted to grow as a player. I wanted to grow as a person, and I still do. But it came the third or fourth season. I think I sort of fell into the trap of short-termism. It's not really a word, but just basically seeing everything as a cycle of a week and just aiming to get selected for the weekend. And if I didn't get selected, then I'd get really frustrated. And go to the following week with stress, with frustration, with sort of anxiety from, not being good enough, although that's sort of all you do, being a rugby player. Well, that's how I felt anyways. That's not me. I'm not sure that's me giving advice, but seeing the bigger picture of things and promising yourself that you're going to invest in yourself. And if you're not selected, it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that someone else took a decision that's not in your control. The coach didn't select you. But that doesn't mean that they have to stop progressing. They have to stop learning. They have to stop getting out of comfort zone and learning new things. And it's a bit of not a contradiction, but for me, sports is very, when you watch your team play, all that really matters is if they win or lose. And I find that as an athlete is pressurizing because there's so much more than winning or losing. There is a process you put in place. There's your habits. There's your dedication. There is your input, your effort. Everything comes into the win or lose. But then sometimes there's things that you can't control: the weather, the ref, the pitch, your body. Maybe sometimes you can be ill. Sometimes you can be on your period. Sometimes it doesn't. What I'm trying to say, it doesn't always go your way. Like, it's not always perfect. However, though, like, what you can control and what you can focus on. So that's your preparation, your sleep, your nutrition, your in training. Have you looked at your clips? Have you looked back on the games and seen, okay, this week I'm going to focus on this certain thing? Have you tried to implement it in training? And like, don't wait for someone to take your hand and be like, look, let's go, let's work on your cheat lines, or come, let's work on your pattern. Like, that's not going to happen. You've got to come to training with something in your head. I'm going to work on this today. And if you can't do it in training, if the opportunity doesn't come in training for you to, I don't know, crossfield kick or 50-22, then at the end of training, get a pal and do it at the end of training, or do it on your own if you want. Doesn't really matter. But all I'm trying to say is, if you do have control on things, take that control and make sure you don't leave things to luck or to chance. If you never practice your passing and you come in a situation in a game where you've got that long pass to make, you hesitate a split second because you're not sure you can actually do it. But then that split second could be the difference between you making that pass and you getting tackled. That tackled could be the difference between you winning and losing the game. So what I'm trying to say is, the whole game, the whole picture, is simply an addition of small little moments. Simple things done well, and simple things done at the back of one another. And in those simple things, there's maybe 80% of it that you can control. So that's everything that you are doing. Okay? Have you practiced basically? Have you done your prep? And I find like that reduces anxiety a lot. Anxiety of not being ready, anxiety of not being good enough. And when I mean anxiety like this, I'm not saying I know what anxiety is. I'm just saying that stress of, and I guess every athlete has those stresses of, just not being good enough, not being prepared enough. But trust your preparation, trust your S&C, trust your coaches that what they've given you to do is the right things, and if you're not ready, then you've got time to improve. But so in summary, leave the uncontrollables somewhere else. Focus on what you can influence, on what you can control, and that's your preparation, sleep, nutrition. Get help if you need. Ask the coaches, ask your S&C, ask your physio if there's things you can do to improve. Ask yourself as well, because I think sometimes we know more than we think we know. And just let go of that pressure of not knowing what's going to happen, because if you've done your prep, if you've done everything you could, and if you have improved in a week, and if you have, you've got that bigger picture in your head, you know where you are in your plan to get better, and then you zoom back in and you're aware of your situation right now, and you're aware of where you want to go. Just be at pace with not necessarily being where you want to be, and being at pace with your flaws, but also your strength, because we don't only have flaws, we also have strength. Yes. I think that was it. Yeah, episode 10 of Athlete Journal. Hope you liked it. If you have anything you want me to talk about, I can keep doing it in English, there's no worries at all. Except my mum will probably not understand it as well. As well as French, obviously. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. And it was a pleasure to do this in English for the first time. Bye, take care.